In the frozen expanse of the high north, a new great game is unfolding. This isn't a battle fought with soldiers on icy terrain, but with engines, software, and the future of air power itself. For decades, the skies were dominated by one power with one set of rules. But quietly, a challenge is brewing. It's a challenge centered on a single audacious idea, that a Swedish fighter jet, powered by a British engine, could break a 70-year American stranglehold on Western air dominance. This isn't just about building a better jet. This is about redrawing the map of power. A British engine is rumored to give Sweden's Gripen jet a secret weapon in the Arctic, a move that could potentially shatter the Pentagon's control over its allies. But this high-stakes engine swap is a massive gamble, a multi-billion-dollar bet that could either forge a new European defense powerhouse or collapse into a costly failure. Here's the truth about the quiet engine war that has Washington watching very, very closely. So, how did we get here? Well, it all comes down to a set of rules most people have never heard of. The International Traffic in Arms Regulations, or ITAR. In simple terms, ITAR is the leash the United States government keeps on any defense technology that contains American parts. If a weapon system, whether it's a rifle or a fighter jet, uses a critical U.S.-made component, the Pentagon effectively holds a veto over who it can be sold to. And here's the catch for Sweden's prized fighter, the Saab Gripen E. The Gripen is a marvel of efficiency, a lightweight, agile, and cost-effective jet designed to outsmart, not overpower, its rivals. It's built for a specific kind of war, dispersed, rapid, and resilient. But at its heart beats an American-made engine, the General Electric F414G. While powerful and reliable, its presence turns the Gripen from a sovereign Swedish product into a strategic asset that Washington gets a say in. Every potential sale, every negotiation comes with an asterisk. Sweden can design and build the jet, but the United States can influence its final destination. For nations wanting a capable non-Russian fighter without swearing total allegiance to Washington's foreign policy, this is a huge problem. It's a set of golden handcuffs. The GE engine provides immense power, but it comes at the cost of strategic freedom. This dependency is the central vulnerability in Sweden's ambition to be a major global arms exporter, and it has created an opening for a game-changing move. In this geopolitical chess match, the players are as important as the board. And the board is the Arctic, the vast, unforgiving expanse of the North Atlantic, now buzzing with strategic competition. The rules are different up here. This isn't about massive air bases and legions of support staff. It's about survival, endurance, and operating in the harshest conditions imaginable. On one side, you have the established king, the American F-35 Lightning II. The F-35 isn't just a jet, it's a system, a flying, invisible quarterback whose stealth and sensors let it see and direct the entire battlefield. It's the peak of American tech might, a flying supercomputer that promises dominance. But that dominance comes with a colossal price tag and a demanding logistical footprint. The F-35 needs pristine bases, specialized technicians, and a global supply chain that all leads back to the U.S. Its cost per flight hour is hotly debated, but recent estimates put it somewhere between $30,000 and $36,000. It's an apex predator that needs a carefully managed habitat. On the other side, you have the challenger, the guerrilla striker, Sweden's Gripen. The Gripen was born from a totally different philosophy. Designed during the Cold War to fight off a Soviet invasion, its core tenets are speed, efficiency, and independence. It can take off from damaged runways and even public roads, get refueled and rearmed by a small team in under 10 minutes, and get right back in the fight. Its operational cost is a fraction of the F-35's, with estimates ranging from around $8,000 to over $20,000, depending on the model and how you calculate it. It's the smart, cost-effective choice. Yet, as we've established, it's a jet on a leash, held by its American engine. This has left the Gripen in a strategic paradox, a fighter built for independence that remains fundamentally dependent. This is where the story takes a dramatic turn. For years, a radical solution has been whispered about in defense circles. What if you could sever the American tie by swapping the Gripen's GE engine with a European alternative? The candidate? A powerful derivative of the Rolls-Royce EJ200, the engine that powers the Eurofighter Typhoon. This proposed engine, sometimes called the EJ230, would be an ITAR-free powerhouse. Now let's be crystal clear. In January of 2026, Saab's CEO, Mikael Johansson, publicly dismissed this engine swap as an urban myth and uneconomical. He argued the financial and political hurdles were just too high. Officially, there is no active program to put a Rolls-Royce engine in the Gripen. And yet, the idea refuses to die. It persists in defense forums and strategic analyses because it's the perfect answer to the Gripen's biggest problem. It's a phantom engine haunting the halls of both Saab and the Pentagon because its potential is just too significant to ignore. So, let's look at what this urban myth actually promises. The Gripen E's current GE F414G engine produces about 98 kilonewtons of thrust with its afterburner, what's known as wet thrust. Projections for the Rolls-Royce EJ230, which are based on historical concepts from the 1990s, suggest a potential thrust between 102 and 120 kilonewtons, a performance boost of up to 22%. This would give the Gripen a better thrust-to-weight ratio, improving its acceleration, climb rate, and ability to supercruise, fly supersonic without its fuel-guzzling afterburner. On top of that, speculative analysis suggests the engine could be 5 to 10% more fuel efficient. That might not sound like much, but over the vast distances of the Arctic, that small percentage means a longer combat radius. Some concepts even floated the idea of thrust vectoring for incredible dogfighting maneuverability. This isn't just an engine swap, it's a fundamental transformation. It would turn a smart, efficient fighter into a truly formidable one. If Saab's CEO says it's not happening, why are we even talking about it? Because the idea of this engine swap perfectly illustrates the shifting strategic landscape in the North. A hypothetical Gripen with a Rolls-Royce engine is, on paper, the ideal Arctic fighter. The logic starts with the engine's DNA. The EJ200 family was designed by a European consortium for European conditions, specifically to be reliable in the cold, damp climate of Northern Europe. This focus on performance in harsh weather could give it an edge in the sub-zero temperatures of the Arctic, where engines are under extreme stress. Now combine that with the Gripen's design. The F-35 is like a Formula One car. It needs a pristine track and a dedicated pit crew. The Gripen is more like a World Rally Championship car. It's designed to be thrown around on icy roads, repaired with simple tools, and sent right back into the race. In the Arctic, where giant, immaculate air bases are rare, being able to operate from dispersed, rugged locations is a massive strategic advantage. Faster turnaround times in freezing weather mean more flights, allowing a smaller number of jets to have a bigger impact. This is where the Gripen's low operational cost becomes a strategic weapon. When you're paying roughly a quarter of the price per hour to fly a Gripen compared to an F-35, you can afford to fly 4 times as many hours for the same budget. You can have a more persistent presence, patrol larger areas, and give your pilots more training. In the vastness of the Arctic, presence is power. A stealth fighter sitting in a heated hangar is no threat. A flight of Gripens constantly patrolling the skies is a very real one. This is why the Phantom engine matters. It represents the ultimate optimization of the Gripen for this new northern battlefield. A jet that's not only cheap to fly and easy to maintain, but also completely free from the political strings of an outside power. The appeal of a Rolls-Royce-powered Gripen goes way beyond the Arctic. It hits at the heart of a much larger issue: national sovereignty. The desire of nations to control their own defense policy without asking for Washington's permission is a powerful force. and it's creating new openings for the Swedish jet. Take Colombia, for example. For years, Bogotá has been looking to replace its aging air force. The Gripen has been a top contender, but the decision keeps getting delayed. As of early 2026, despite rumors of a signed deal, the reality is that Colombia has only conducted evaluations, and no final contract has been signed. A major factor in this hesitation is the question of American influence. The mere possibility of an ITAR-free Gripen in the future changes this entire calculation. It allows Saab to offer a path to true technological independence, something no American supplier can match. Then there's Canada. Canada chose the F-35 in 2022 after a long competition. Official evaluation documents showed the F-35 dramatically outperforming the Gripen on paper, scoring 57.1 points to the Gripen's 19.8, a decisive victory. And yet, even after this loss, Saab hasn't given up. It keeps arguing that the Gripen is a better fit for Canada's unique needs, centering on Arctic sovereignty and lower operational costs. An ITAR-free Gripen, powered by an engine from its close ally the UK, would make that argument even stronger. It would offer a tool for Arctic control without binding Canada's hands to Washington's foreign policy, a powerful proposition. This is why the Pentagon is watching. This isn't about Sweden selling a few more jets. It's about a potential strategic rupture, a future where European nations can build, field, and export high-end military technology entirely without American oversight. It's a direct challenge to the F-35's market dominance, and more importantly, to the American model of alliance management that has defined the West for half a century. But let's pull back from the grand strategy and get real. Creating this ITAR-free Gripen isn't as simple as just swapping out an engine. This is the core of the gamble, and it's why Saab's CEO is publicly so skeptical. Integrating a new engine into a modern fighter is a monumental task. It would demand a near-total redesign of the Gripen's airframe. The air intakes would need to be reshaped, the internal structure re-engineered, and the fuel and electrical systems completely overhauled. The jet's flight control software, the brain of the aircraft, would have to be rewritten from scratch to account for the new engine's performance. This process would cost billions of dollars and take the better part of a decade. So, is the promise of strategic independence worth that immense financial and technical risk? For Sweden alone, the cost might be too high. But for a consortium of nations, maybe Sweden, joined by others who commit to buying the jet, the cost could be shared. The gamble might just pay off. They would be betting billions on the belief that true sovereignty is priceless. This is the tension at the heart of the Gripen story, a struggle between the pragmatic reality of today's budgets and the bold vision of tomorrow's independence. The easy path is to stick with the American engine and accept the strings. The bolder path is to take a massive risk for a truly European fighter that could change the balance of power. So, we have a Swedish jet, a phantom British engine, and an American system of control. The proposed engine swap for the Gripen is far more than a technical upgrade. It's a symbol of a tectonic shift in global power. While Saab's leadership might call it an urban myth for now, it's a myth born from a very real and growing desire among nations to forge their own path. The Gripen, with its philosophy of smart, efficient resilience, is already well suited for 21st century challenges. An ITAR-free version, optimized for the harsh realities of the Arctic, could become the definitive choice for nations seeking capability without dependency. It remains a high-stakes gamble, a project that exists more in strategic documents than in engineering labs. But it represents a powerful question about the future of alliances and the price of sovereignty. The Pentagon isn't watching because of what this jet is, but because of what it could be, the catalyst for a new era of European defense. But what do you think? Is this the future of European defense, forging its own path with independent technology? Or is it a risky, expensive gamble that could isolate nations from the world's dominant military power? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.